So if you've looked at my previous videos on YouTube, you'll notice that I had a Harley Davidson that I bought for $200 from a house fire. So you probably clicked on the thumbnail and you realized that I said, hey, I went backwards. Most people ride up from a Shadow or a smaller bike, a learner bike. I kind of went a little bit backwards. So how did I go from this bike to this bike? That's a beautiful question. So essentially, I bought the $200 Harley Davidson from a guy here in Venice, Florida. It was involved in a house fire, so there was a lot of melted parts and a lot of melted hoses. I spent about a year purchasing parts, putting parts into it, learning how to build a motorcycle. Oh, I forgot to mention I've never even owned a motorcycle or rode a motorcycle until approximately this week. So the bike was a big project. I paid $200 for it. I put several $100s into buying parts, and I found out very quickly that it wasn't a specific model. It was a hodgepodge of parts. It was a parts bike. So essentially everything was custom. So I'd have to go order parts, see what fit, return them, sell them, to get more money to buy more parts, to get the right parts. So as you can tell, that was a pretty big problem for me. So I decided one day, I took the bike with its wheels to a bike shop, and I said, hey, how much to put tires? You know, I want to get it rolling, because right now, or as you see in the video, it was sitting on a motorcycle lift. They told me it'd be about $300, $400 with new tires, balance them, weights on them, etc. At that point, I would have been about $1,000 into the motorcycle. Out of curiosity, I started looking around on Craigslist, and I found this Shadow. It's a 2005 Honda Shadow. It's 600, and it was for, I think it was listed at $1,900. I said, holy cow, man, for a couple $100 more, I could just get a Shadow. So I ended up talking to the guy. He had already lowered the price once or twice, and I ended up getting a price very close to what I already had in the Harley. So immediately I put the Harley up for sale on Craigslist and let go. And I mean, within 24 hours, I had 40 offers. So within 24 hours, I had someone purchasing the bike, and I used that money to buy this Shadow. I'm very glad I did it. I'm actually kind of upset that it took me so long to actually start riding motorcycles, because it's been a liberating, exciting experience ever since. Taking on a little ride here. This is one of my favorite rides. Again, I've only been riding a motorcycle for about a week, so you're going to see me make a lot of mistakes. Feel free to call me out in the comments, give me tips, suggestions, whatever you may have for how I'm riding or what I'm doing wrong. But keep in mind, I've self-taught up to this point. So a little bit about me. I'm a 32-year-old firefighter paramedic, full-time career firefighter paramedic. I also teach paramedic class at a local community college. Oh, there you go. I forgot my flasher. I do that a lot, actually. I'm getting a little bit better. So I have a pretty unique perspective on things. Never really wanted to ride a motorcycle because, you know, obviously dealing with a lot of people getting hurt on motorcycles. I didn't want to, especially here in Florida with the older people, I didn't want to ride a bike, but some urge came over me. I said, man, I want to have a moped. I want something to ride around the neighborhood and have fun with. And that's kind of what got me into the Harley and now into this motorcycle. As I was saying, I live on the west coast of Florida. So I live on the Gulf side, and it's a gorgeous weather mostly throughout the year. So it lends for great days for riding the motorcycle. And ever since I bought this bike, I've been riding it every single day. It's just amazing to me. So I grew up in the DC area. My father had a retirement home here in Englewood, Florida. So we'd come down for 1 month out of every year, right in this neighborhood actually. I now have a house that's approximately, I don't know, I'd probably say about 2 or 3 blocks away from him. So my whole life, we'd come down here, and my whole life my dad would say, hey, I want to retire to Florida one day. One day I'm going to retire to Florida. My mother passed away in 2006 from lung cancer. Hello there, guys. Anyway, sorry. My mother passed away in 2006 from lung cancer. So it was just me and my father up in Maryland, in the DC area. And I said, you know what? I'm going to motivate him. He needs to come down to live in Florida, live his dream. If I do nothing else with my life, at least he will live his dream of finally realizing his life in Florida. Called my dad, told him, hey man, I'm going to move to Florida. Can I use your home, you know, your rental home, or the home that you have, our vacation home, until I get on my feet? He laughed at me and said, yeah, sure, I've been trying 20-something years, you know. You're never going to get down to Florida. Well, about 2 weeks later, I had a transfer down to Florida. And that was 12 years ago. So I've been down here now full-time 12 years, living in the same neighborhood that I used to vacation in. And now my father gets to live out his dream of being in Florida for the rest of his life in retirement. This bridge here that we're about to come up to, as soon as we hit the apex of the bridge, you'll see the Gulf of Mexico. This is typically my running spot. This is about 2 miles away from my home, so I tend to run over here, and as soon as you hit the bridge, you start to see light, you start to see pretty waters. So here's the Intercoastal Waterway. Absolutely beautiful. Something about being on a bike and seeing these sights too is just unbelievable. You can start to see over there in the distance on the horizon, that's the Gulf of Mexico. And here we are at Manasota Beach. When I was a kid growing up here about 20 years ago, I get a high five. Give a little head nod. This used to be all dirt, sand road, just past here to the left. So right about here it would have ended, and it would have been all sand road from here. This is, like I said, about 20 years ago. Well, I'm pretty excited. I just went through my footage and thought that the video was going to end here in about 3 seconds, but I found hidden in the GoPro file the rest of the 3 gigs of video for this trip that I made. So instead of cutting it off early, like right about now, I actually have the rest of the video. So this is a key. It's called Manasota Key. On the left-hand side here, you will see, in between homes, you'll see the Intercoastal Waterway or Lemon Bay. And on the right-hand side, just beyond these homes, and every once in a while you'll see it as well, is the Gulf of Mexico. This is a gorgeous trip here. Love the tree cover, windy roads, lack of traffic. There's some construction right there. Lots of money in these homes as well. Something that always reminds me when I drive on this road, can't really speak to it specifically, but there's a call on this road, and I won't go into too many details, a 911 call that I ran. And what I can say is that it puts into perspective money. You know, you look at all these $1 million homes, Porsches, beautiful vehicles, and you realize that any minute you can be reduced to death. I know that sounds very morbid. For sale. I'm like a squirrel. I don't know if you noticed that, but I kind of go off topic. At any moment, your life could be over. The person I'm thinking of had a stroke. He's probably about 50 years old, maybe 60. Had a nice vehicle, had tons of money, and within seconds had a massive stroke and was reduced to probably death, to be quite honest with you. But at least for that moment, to the inability to be able to speak, talk, control his facilities. It's just very sad to think about that. You know, it puts things into perspective. And thank God I have a job where I'm able to actually, you know, reflect back on those types of things. So every time I ride on this road, I think about that. You know, you think about all the money that these people have. Sometimes you want to be jealous, but then you realize we're all just people. Here you go, the corners. Oh, a little bit of sand here in the way. Made me a little bit nervous. Like I said, I've only been riding a motorcycle for about a week or so, so I'm trying to stay away from all the hazards in the road. I always wanted a gate on one of my houses, though. I thought that'd be kind of cool, you know? Pull up and have to put a code in, or have like a big entryway with gargoyles on the corners. And actually we have a cold front moving in, so it's a little bit cloudy. It's not as bright and as vibrant as it normally is. This next beach we're about to approach, I call it Middle Beach. It's also known as Blind Pass Beach. I call it Middle Beach obviously because it's the middle of the key. One side is Manasota, one side is Englewood Beach, and then right in the middle is this place called Middle Beach, Blind Pass Beach. We would drive on this road here, and this used to be all sand. We would drive on this road, come out to this beach that I'm about to show you. And quite literally, I have pictures of us and maybe one or two other people on the entire beach. Completely, essentially private. Great memories here. See up there where the trees stop? That's where the beach is going to begin. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Blind Pass Beach on the Gulf of Mexico. We're in Sarasota County. I wish you guys could smell what I'm smelling right now, the water and the slightly fishy ocean smell. Something you take for granted in a vehicle, you know? So this tree coming up here on the right, this is probably one of the only pieces of shade on this entire beach. So this tended to be where we would drop off our stuff and we would go hang out at the beach. So we'd drop off our stuff here and then we would park the vehicle, come back. Parking lot for the beach. Alright guys, well I'm going to end it here. This is great first vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed coming on the ride with me. I really enjoyed taking you guys along and talking to you guys. So I plan on using this vlog as just a time to kind of talk to you guys and kind of have some introspect and some conversation. So please stop by, subscribe, like it if you did enjoy it. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Let me know that I'm doing all right. I would love to share more videos with you guys, bring you guys on some more of my rides, talk a little bit about life, talk to you guys about my job, and, you know, some interesting 911 calls, etc. that I've had. I'd really like to enjoy sharing this time with you, because prior to me getting a motorcycle, I just watched a lot of motovlogs, and I really enjoyed being able to take the rider's perspective. So I hope I can share that along with you guys, and I will show you some great more trails and roads in the area, and I look forward to spending more time with you. So again, thank you very much, and this will conclude MotoVlog 1. See you later. See you next time.